Welcome to another Airbrush Asylum video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I airbrushed this very basic rock design on synthetic paper. Let's get into the artwork tutorial right now. Okay, so it's got a regular bit of A4 paper, just copy paper here, and I want to draw out some rocks. Now these are going to become the positive templates. So you don't need to draw out that many, probably do 3 or 4. Kind of like an egg-shaped rock, that's what we're going for. And we'll do one more, bigger one. Okay, so what I want to do now is using my blade, I just want to cut around these and try and get a nice smooth edge, because we want these to be smoother rocks rather than jagged. You can also get a blade that cuts circles. It's a swivel knife, so if you're not used to curving the blade around like I'm doing at the moment, you might want to grab yourself a swivel knife to make the process a little bit easier. But if you've only got a regular one like this, you can also spin the paper, but you kind of roll the knife. And if you're not following 100% the grey lead, that's fine. It's more important to just get that nice smooth cut. Kind of just roll it like so to get that smooth cut. Okay, almost done. So you can see I'm totally ignoring the grey lead there. And I'll go around this way. Sometimes I find working up and around easier. Obviously be very careful when you're doing this, and you can see I'm using a cutting mat so that you don't cut into your bench. Oh, that's gone a bit crappy. So what I'll do is I'll finish it off and I'll show you how to fix that. You can see that dodgy edge that I've got there. So I'm going to clean that up. But this time I'll follow the grey lead to do so. So because it's a positive mask, just recut and clean that up. Like so. Make sure that all these edges are nice, because these are going to become the templates to create your rocks. So there we have it, the completed positive templates, and we're ready to move on to creating our rock effect. Okay, so I'm working on a piece of synthetic paper. This is a coated paper, so it allows for erasing. You can scratch back on it, and it's really good for airbrushing. What I'm going to start off with using is a Paynes grey, and I just want to dust in, like just basically from a distance, fog in some unevenness on the piece of paper, just to build up a little bit of tone and get rid of that white. And then I need to build up a bit of the grain, so the actual texture within the rock. So to do that, a couple of ways. You can use a paddle pop stick or stirrer like so, angle your airbrush down onto it, and you may have seen me do this in other videos. So the further back that you go, the larger the spatters, and up close, the finer the spatters. I'll give you a bit of a demo on how that works now. But working down, you'll see it'll still spray out all right. It's just a little bit more dangerous when you're working flat on the surface, but you can see pretty good control. But there is another method that you can use, which I'll show you as well. So the other thing that you can do to create spatters is grab your air hose and just kink it. I'm using the DT110, a wider straight shot hose. And by kinking it, you're restricting the amount of air, and you can kind of control it so that it starts to spatter out on you. But these will create a finer spatter. So it's a bit harder to control as far as, you know, getting those thicker spatters to come out. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go back to my stick and just continue spattering with that. I feel that works really well. So I want to build up a fair amount of the grain. Like so, we've got some variation. So just a quick close up there, you can see, you know, the spatters are fairly heavy in spots. So to dry them off, you can just use the air from the airbrush. Don't go up too close, because you might push them around if they are still wet, and we don't want that. We want the nice spatter look. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and build up more grain using black. Same sort of principle as before. Do some fine spatters, some larger ones, just vary it up. The other thing you can use to create spatters, which will work is a toothbrush. You can sort of just flick paint onto the surface. I'm doing some heavier ones there, just in spots, just to get some real big chunks of grain, and pretty happy with that. Again, hold the airbrush on to dry it, and we might just fog in some of those edges and get some more uneven texture throughout. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is spatter white, but before I do that, I just want to show you the benefit of using a synthetic paper. I've got a dowel here, as well as an eraser pencil. So this is the Faber-Castell 7057 eraser pencil. You can see it's got the white and the pink end. So the white end is for harsher highlights, and the pink end is for softer highlights. I'm going to show you how that works right now. So the dowel obviously will give you really defined sharp highlights. So let's just come along here. You can see how it easily scratches those bits out, and it goes instantly back to the white of the paper. So it'll give you that real bright white highlight, which is virtually unachievable to that level with white paint. And it also allows you to work over a dark area without getting any blue shift, which is good. And then if I use the pink part and swirl that around, you can see it'll remove, if I do it like this, it'll remove larger areas, but it's not going right through, it's just sort of cutting through the first layer of that black. Now different paints will act differently. This is obviously just Trident paint, so you still can erase with it. Paints like Createx illustration colors, which are designed to be erased, they will perform even better than this, if that's something that you want to do. So you can see by using now the white part, that's really cutting through that a lot quicker. But what I'm going to do is, before I do use the white spattering, I'm going to go ahead and just erase a variation of these. So just going to replicate the harsh one, the soft one, as well as the dowel over the entire artwork before I spatter. So if you don't have these tools to do this, or you're not working on synthetic paper, then just skip this step and just follow the tutorial using the spatters instead. It's still going to give you a really cool effect. If this is the first time watching one of our videos, then welcome. For all of our regular viewers, welcome back. I do hope that you're enjoying this video tutorial so far. If you are, give it the thumbs up, share it out, and let's build this airbrushing community together. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing, tap on that bell icon, and that'll notify you every time I put out new content. Okay, so now I'm going to add some white spatters to this, now that I've completed the texturing. I could have also left it the way it was, but I thought I'll use this just to show you what it looks like with some more spatters on it. So if you're not doing this artwork on synthetic paper, then at least you can follow along with just the spattering, and it's still going to look really good. Okay, so now it's time to utilize the templates. We're going to start to create the actual rocks. Now again, I need to make sure now that this is all dry, so using the airbrush to dry it off will work. Okay, so now laying our template into place, just going to spray around the edge of it. So I'm using this as a positive mask. And you can see that's going to start to create the edges for the rocks. Now what I might do is go a bit darker in certain spots, just to make them really pop. So I'm going to have these overlapping. We'll use some different ones. So just place them wherever you like. So if you want to go a bit darker in spots, just grab your template again and line her up, darken it off. You can see how it's a bit darker here, not so dark up there. I'm just playing around with it. Now this one I'll have slightly underneath. So what I want to do is only spray in these parts so that we don't get any overspray traveling onto the rocks that I want to look like they're on top of this one. So you'll notice here there's no overspray. So if you're spraying from too far away, you'll pick up a bit of an overspray edge there. So be careful of doing that. So you want to be spraying just around these parts that you want to show up. Okay, let's say we want this one here. We really just need to spray in this part to pick up that rock. Now, aim away from the surface so that you've got less chance of getting overspray. Do another one here. Again, it's going to hit this edge. Come across. If you're not confident doing this part freehand, and you're worried about getting an edge across there, just mask off these with another template or a bit of paper, whatever you need to use. Now we'll come back in a minute and clean up some of these edges. Do that one this way around, something different. This one will be a bit trickier, it's fine. Okay, so for this one, we're just gonna spray in this edge and that edge. Go a bit darker. See, so we've got that one laying on top of that one now, which is cool. Another one in here, go that way, something different. So we've got these little gaps now, which is fine. They'll just be shaded out. So obviously you can cut more templates if you like. I just thought I'd keep it simple. Okay. Need that little piece in there as well to pick up that whole curve. Almost done, and then we can do some freehand shading just to really finish it off. So you can also get nice and creative with what colours you want to use. Don't have to follow this particular colour scheme. I've just tried to keep it nice and simple so that beginners can follow. It's a great technique to know how to do, quick and easy, and just gives you a really great result. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a bit of freehand airbrushing just to shade these and lift them out a bit. So I'm going to darken off some of the areas. So you can go back to your template obviously, but I just want to do a bit freehand. So by darkening off these rocks, they're going to be pushed into the background. You can see how much this really does change the piece. Dusting a little bit on there as well. Shade the actual stone as well to give that a bit more of a 3D appearance. Here is the completed rock artwork. Very simple to do, perfect one for any beginner. So to continue your learning, be sure to check out some of the other videos and playlists that I've got listed here. And until next time, go grab your airbrush, do some amazing artwork yourself, and I'll see you again very, very soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.